Good evening, everybody and anyone. Welcome to another wonderful broadcast here. Tonight's going to be the Overwatch All-Star Trials presented by Star Esports. We're coming into Week 5. Tonight we've got Peppermint Twist versus Space Invaders, but I am not alone. I am joined by the lovely Moxie, staying up late over in the EU to get in this game. Moxie, how are you doing tonight?
Well, surprisingly not that tired considering the time, and I mean, I'm excited for this, Twaz. Space Invaders versus Peppermint Twist, and word on the grapevine is that Space Invaders may have a little bit of an advantage over Peppermint Twist.
Yeah, Peppermint Twist getting a new player in here, at least on the full roster, so we'll see Dragon's Bane in the #1 slot on Peppermint Twist. I don't know if that means he's going to be any kind of captain or leading, or maybe just got the first invite, but only 5 players that I've seen from Peppermint Twist before, so at least one new 6 player, and we're going to see if that comes into play.
Well, so you've cast Peppermint Twist before, so any tips on which players I should potentially watch out for?
SNG, I remember, stuck out really well. SNG was one of their healers that I saw, and an interesting Ayala was also on one of the healers. So they're 2 supports of the ones that I remember. I don't know if that's because I play support, but those are the 2 names that stuck out, and I remember from last time because they were doing some really key plays. I remember Ayala specifically was playing a pretty aggressive Mercy and got a couple of kills that I remember doing huge shout-outs for in Week 4. So maybe some personal benefit to myself because I play support, and that's maybe just the names I remember. But yeah, those 2 especially stick out to me.
Well, definitely sounds like a Mercy after my own heart. I too main supports to us, so hey, look, we already have things in common.
This is why we cast, is because we play support. So that's a good time. I'm not good enough to play Genji or Widow, so I support my teammates to do that, and I give some baller call-outs. So here we are casting as well.
That it will be. Well, it's going to be interesting to see what exactly Dragon's Bane brings to the table. They obviously brought him in for some reason, and I'm looking forward to figuring out what exactly it is. It may be that we have a little bit of a specialist on our hands.
Yeah, perhaps. We're going to get 4 games to find out tonight. Again, Peppermint Twist versus Space Invaders. Space Invaders is going to be the other one. I'll give you a shout-out, Space Invaders. I'm loving the name. We're rocking it out. We have 4 matches tonight. Our map layout is going to be Lijiang Tower, Horizon Lunar Colony, Junkertown, and Numbani. You got any favorites out of that list, Moxie?
Lijiang.
For sure.
Everybody who knows me knows that I absolutely adore Lijiang, especially Gardens. I love the Pharah plays, Twaz. I really do.
Oh, the boops. You got the big boops off the edge.
That you do. The Lucios can come up huge on that map, and also the Hammonds as well. It's not really a tank that we get to see played quite a lot coming out of the composition that shall not be named era.
I'm very happy with the official rollover of the 222. Also, a couple of patch changes recently in the last couple days. So a couple heroes have been changed, a couple heroes have been nerfed and boosted. So I'm wondering if that's going to change the queues that we see tonight. And Moxie, I don't know if you keep up with OWL, but the kind of meta in the professional ways has been Reaper and May with that May blade. So I'm curious if we're going to be seeing that coming out from these teams tonight also.
You're going for the Mayblade name?
The Mayblade.
It's not poetic at all. No mention of the flower, the Death Blossom.
Oh yeah, that one's true too. Yeah, I'm a
Blizzard Blossom.
The Blizzard Blossom.
The 2
I also kind of liked the other one. The other one I heard was coats, because Reaper wears a coat, and if you're in a blizzard, you better wear a coat. It also rhymes with goats, so I'm a fan of coats.
Oh, so we can call it goats, not standard free compositions. Well, it's going to be Control Center that we're actually going to be moving on to. So I think we may indeed see the coats coming out of the closet.
Yeah, we could. And you were talking about the Hammond as well. I think Hammond with the central point on the control point here could be interesting, just to get some crazy havoc and damage with that grapple coming out. So we'll see if that happens. But coming into game 1, we've got 4 of these coming at you. We're going to have Peppermint Twist and Space Invaders. Space Invaders should be on your left on the blue, and then Peppermint Twist will be on the right in the red.
Yeah, well, we're going to be seeing what exactly these teams are going to be fielding in a couple of seconds, and I've got my money that we're going to see some May Reaper. It's so strong on this point, especially if you manage to win that first team fight. You can set up so aggressively right at the enemy's choke, and they just can't get through the door if you put your walls in well.
Yeah, it's very, very effective choke on this control point. And you were correct for one team. I love the immediate picks from all the players. Sometimes I feel like players troll the casters, maybe the audience a little bit, doing some last-second picks onto some Torbjorns. But not this time. Everybody coming out hot with their picks. And we see Has-Been and HarmonyBot on the side of Space and They're going to be full sending it with the May and Reaper. Not so on the side of Peppermint Twist. Only Misfit on the May. No Reaper for them, as they're going to be picking up Drunken Monk on Ana, or on Ash, excuse me, for their
Opting
DPS.
into a little bit of a ice and fire. That's going to be interesting to see. They're going to start poking in just now.
Yeah, Misfit actually tried to go with an aggressive wall to separate the team, but almost got caught out themselves as they had got very low health, had to pull up the ice. Jungle Lunga with the first kill onto Full Metal, and Seer going to follow it up. That's going to give him a two-man advantage onto this point, and right off the bat, Space Invaders looking very strong. The May wall to block him off right there to give him the secure, and the percentage going to start tacking up in the side of blue here for Space Invaders. So a good opening push. Jungle Lunga opening it with that fire strike to get that first elim.
Peppermint Twist, they should be pulling all the way back to spawn, but they're not. They're actually going to hang around, and they could be punished for this.
Yeah, they weren't, I think, thankfully, for Peppermint Twist, but I agree with you. I think after the point was captured, we could have seen Space Invaders push out a little bit more aggressively and knock them back and start getting that choke point in the doorway, but they kind of just hang back out of the point and start getting that percentage, so we don't see them.
Well, it's actually going to be a swap from Full Metal and Dragonsbane. They're going to opt into the Rein Zarya. So not going to go for the whole hook combination, just really not working out quite well for them.
Yeah, I am interested to see Reinhardt from both teams coming out. Great wall on the fire strike there from Misfit. I think hurt his teammate a little bit, so a little bit over. Full Metal going to try to push in on the Reinhardt. Didn't get the charge that he wanted to. Tried to go in for Jungle Lunga. Wasn't able to capture him. It's kind of just a back and forth here with the Rein shields. Full Metal caught out off maybe here, though. Gets a shield from his teammate Zarya. The other wall coming out from Misfit as well. Ana has her ult up on Ayala. Nobody going out. Oh, finally, Fire Strike comes out on Reginald. So he will go down. It's going to be a 5v6 in favor of Peppermint Twist. The Ana comes out on Full Metal, but he gets Reinhardt slammed immediately by Jungle. He will follow in death him suit. Reginald come down with the ult. The Blossom coming out as well from the side of Reaper on Has-Been, only able to pick up the Dragon Blade on Zarya. A back and forth. Blizzard coming out from Harmony Bot, so the Blizzard already up. And a lot of back and forth here, but the back and forth is going to go in favor of Space Invaders, as we are already up to about 85% on the control point, and it does look like they've officially taken this fight.
Alright, well, SMG actually had to use the Transcendence to save his team from Has-Been's Death Blossom, so that's that ultimate off the table, so the Blizzard can just get in that damage. Misfit is sitting on a Blizzard of his own, and Reginald, he doesn't have Sound Barrier up. Drunken Monk is just going to throw Bob right in there.
Yeah, kind of an interesting. We saw the ult coming out from Siru there with the Graviton, not able to get much off it. But Drunken Monk coming in right after that though with the Bob, taking out Jungle Lunga and Harmony Bot, making a quad kill for the team, and that is going to wipe it up right at 99%. Just at the very end, Peppermint Twist finally able to swap it over, and only really having to use the Blizzard there, Blizzard and Bob, I guess. So not a whole bunch used.
I think there was a little bit of a miscommunication between Space Invaders. Maybe they got a little bit cocky knowing it was at 99%, so Sura just kind of shucks Grav in, trying to keep them off the point, but it's going to be Dragonsbane who's going to have a grab of his own coming up. They don't have any ult to combo it with, but Ayala make just nano Full Metal and just let him swing away, get that shatter up.
Yeah, we see what, as you talked about earlier, Moxie, they get separated up here, pushed all the way up to this choke point, and that is going to cost them as Jungle Lunga gets pushed out and walled off from the and immediately gets the kill onto the Reinhardt. So you talked about it earlier, the Space Invaders did not push up into this choke point, but Peppermint Twist taking full advantage of it and making a stall real quick here.
Well, Has-Been is actually a little bit out on his lonesome at the moment, going for a little bit of a flank, maybe thinking about a cheeky back cut, but no, he's going to be joined by his team. We're going to have a bit of a rotation. Reginald still doesn't have Sound Barrier up, so if Dragonsbane acts fast, he's going to be able to get a free grab with no Sound Barrier to save Space Invaders.
And Ayala up with the nano boost as well, and Full Metal quickly going to be coming in with the slam as well. Graviton Surge will going to grab up all of the team of Space Invaders. Are they able to follow up? Reginald, the only one down so far. There's the slam, comes down, racks up the rest of the eliminations, and on the side of Peppermint Twist with 75% remaining, Space Invaders going to have to regroup extremely quickly to have a chance to contest this.
Yeah, it's getting closer and closer to this last fight territory. Full Metal, he's apparently been watching a little bit of Overwatch League, takes some inspiration from fusions on the Boston Uprising and charges Reginald out of the grab so he can't actually Sound Barrier. So silver lanes for Space Invader, they are going to have that ultimate push, and they're going to have to use it at 90%.
Yeah, and they're great communication from the side of Peppermint Twist, it seems like you were talking about with that slam. There comes a slam down from Jungle Lunga, though. The follow-up, Siru and Jungle Lunga both on the kill feed there. quicken up to overtime, 99% for both teams. Bob will come out from Drunken Monk, but the kill feed is currently all blue, and it looks like this could be a retake from the side of Space Invaders. Blizzard will come out to seal the deal. They will capture it 99%. It's going to be up to Peppermint Twist to try and delay and get as many kills here as they can. The Blossom comes out. I keep saying Dragon Blossom. That's not Dragon. That's a Reaper. Death Blossom coming out from Has-Been, and that is going to do it as nobody on the side of Peppermint Twist able to get there in time.
And that was Chungalunga. He takes it for his team. That shadow was absolutely huge. Pretty much all of Peppermint Twist on their backs during that one, which leaves Space Invaders to just clean up house.
And what a great opening game we see here. 99% to 99% recaptures in both directions. Finally going in the side of Space Invaders. But Moxie, I think we are in for a show.
Oh, I definitely think we're in for a show. And if anything, look at these picks that the teams are locking in. They didn't have to opt in to go to there isn't a 2-2-2 lock, but it's DPS, Twaz, it's DPS. Misfit is going to be on the far. We're going to have a dogfight because Has-Been, he's also going to field one of his own.
Yeah, and we got the pharmacy on both sides as well. The mass boops coming out on the side of Peppermint Twist. We got the hook, the knockback from the Pharah, the boop from the Orisa, and from the Lucio, all at the same time. So 4 opportunities, environmental kills here on the side of Peppermint Twist. See if they can get used to it.
Well, they're definitely going to be looking for some environmentals, but they don't actually manage to pick any early ones up. It is going to be Chungalunga who is actually going to be the first one to go down out of mech.
Yeah, and they see Harmony Bot on the Widow trying to take Misfit out of the air, not able to get anything shot, though. The dogfight is happening. Misfit going to be the winner of that, as Has-Been will get taken out from the red-sided farm. And Harmony Bot was... I saw the bullet tracers going up in the air trying to hit him, but Misfit never taking enough damage to go down. Kill feed, however, now is all red as Misfit comes around from the backside on the 2 in the back. The Mercy and the Widow both go down as they push in, and that should be an easy hold for the side of Peppermint Twist.
Yeah, and that's going to be a very quick swap. Has-Been onto the McCree, and for good reason. Misfit is coming closer to this barrage. Going to be Harmonybot actually opting to go for the Reaper. Not quite sure about that one. You can't really chunk a far down. You're too far away for the shotguns to have any real effect. Maybe he's looking to shut down Drunken Monk before this EMP can come online, or indeed just kind of chunk away at Dragon's Bane.
Maybe having some faith in his teammate on Has-Been that can be able to take the Pharah out of the sky with that McCree. But look at the ult economy right now. Only the one ult up for Misfit on the barrage, but everybody else at such a high percentage. And a great pickoff right there as well. That is going to make this push in very hard. 5v6 as Misfit able to come around the corner and take the McCree out of this fight.
Well, you get your environmental kill. Reginald actually manages to find Dragon's Bane.
Yeah, knocks off the Roadhog. Misfit coming in from behind with the barrage as well, however. A back and forth battle. Reginald gets on the kill feed twice more there. Not environmental kills, just giving him the old left click 1-2 combo. Reginald is the most aggressive Lucio I've seen in a long time, getting 3 kills, and the only 3 so far coming out for the side of Space Invaders. Put him on a DPS.
Definitely. Well, he's trying to build Sign Barrier before Drunken Monk can get this EMP off. He actually can have a little bit of an opportunity, but I don't think his team are going to need it.
Yeah, it doesn't look like they do go ahead and pop the EMP, but response from Chungalunga as he gets 2 eliminations right there. Drunken Monk will go down, pop the EMP, but not a whole lot was able to capitalize right afterwards. But now the kill feed finally starting to go on the side of the red. As Peppermint Twist trying to clean this back up at 99%. We are coming up to overtime very quick. Harmonybot trying to do what he can on Reaper, just delay as long as possible. Doesn't have the Death Blossom up though and will go down. I think that will do it. Oh, Lucio tried to come in, but wasn't able to make it in time.
Reginald trying to carry his team, but he actually Sound Barrier, so he doesn't quite manage to touch the point. I think Peppermint Twist got very lucky. They threw EMP into a fight, and suddenly it seemed like there were 2 kills going against them already. That's something that you don't normally see when EMPs are activated.
Yeah, it was kind of weird timing, because you're right. As soon as the EMP came out, they lost 2 of their own, and then about 6 seconds after that, I feel like the EMP had worn off. Then the fight started going in their favor, so it opened up just enough opportunity to put enough damage in that they were able to finalize those kills before the side Space Invaders was able to recover.
Well, Misfit is going to be back on the far. I can see why, Twaz. He's definitely been doing some work on that particular hero. Has-Been is going to be again looking to shut him down. Onto the Soldier. It's not something we normally see, especially in Overwatch 2019, but it could work.
I agree. I think he's just really trying to counter this Pharah. You were talking about Misfit is slaying out right now, and the McCree was not working for him this time. We'll see if the Soldier can... Jungalunga going to be hacked in the back right now, but nobody able to capitalize on it. He got very low HP, but did not go down. Drunken Monk going to pick up the first elimination of this round, though. Quickly followed suit by Full Metal as he was in the background soloing the Reaper. The Harmony bot will go down, so it's a 5v4 right now. Ayala able to pick up the res, immediately goes down for it, though. Dies for the resurrection. An aggressive Mercy res, and it looks like the side of Peppermint Twist going to try to take this point first once again.
You don't need your Mercy alive if the rest of your team manages to kill the enemy better, and that is exactly what Peppermint Twist managed. It seems like Dragonsbane is fitting right in. There almost seems to be no kind of communication errors, despite this player having come in from apparently what we heard yesterday.
Yeah, they seem very well organized. I feel like their ults have been working out well. They haven't been too overcommitting, nobody getting caught out. This Drunken Monk on this Sombra has been all the way in the background, just causing all kinds of mass harassment. And the ult economy in the favor of Peppermint Twist once again. It's going to be great for them going into this next fight.
And that it will Drunken Monk is coming up to the EMP. Full Metal does have Shadow. We could see the combination Shatter and Barrage, or indeed Shatter and Grab.
Doesn't need it though. The blank Shatter comes out. Full Metal with the double kills, trapped him inside of this room. And unfortunately, Jungalunga just was not ready for it, didn't have the shield up. And I think it was a 4-man stun coming out just all by himself for Full Metal. He saw the opportunity and took it, and the great advantage of Peppermint Twist already at 50%. Only another push or 2 left for Space Invaders.
Well, if you're Peppermint Twist, you're laughing right now. You had ultimates you could have comboed, but you don't actually need them. You win the fight off one Shatter, and now you have EMP, Grab, Barrage, and Valk soon to be coming up to Sound Barrier. And all Space Invaders really have to call on is going to be a Sound Barrier and a Shatter.
Oh! What a play from Misfit. They came over on the high ground. Misfit knocked him off with the knockback, and then immediately the grab comes out and the barrage. The barrage not as effective as they probably wanted right there, as a good pickoff came out from the side of Space Invaders, but an immediately great open play from Misfit. Didn't even need the damage. They tried to set up on that top lip, and they just got immediately knocked off, and Dragonsbane was on it with the grab, and that shut them down for this fight. They got to regroup one more time for 85%, only a little bit left for the side of Space Invaders to try to put something together.
Well, Space Invaders actually got pretty lucky there. Peppermint Twist could have picked off Azrael, who was on their own, but they don't actually go for it, and Husband is going to be tag measuring. Misfit falls immediately.
Yep, and the EMP came out as well, but only hit 3 as Hasbin had his visor up. Didn't get too much taken care of, only took the Sombra back and forth. There's the AL, got the res on Misfit, so it didn't even matter as they were trying to even this back up. It's a 5v5 right now. Everybody going crazy on the point. The Nano Boost will come out on Jungalunga, swinging his hammer like a madman, and they are able to recontest this point as they push Peppermint Twist off just enough in that overtime.
Well, SNG actually manages to escape. He's just kind of riding around the point. He manages to get back to his team. Not going to be caught out for those Lucio Reddit antics. But Zero is going to have a grab. Harmony Bot has got a Death Blossom. I don't think it's too far from imagination that we're going to see both of those coming out at pretty much the same time, given that SNG already used Sound Barrier, so they know it's not going to be up.
I am loving the side of Peppermint Twist right now. I don't know if you saw, but as soon as they lost the point, immediately team swap. Look at this. We've got Dragonsbane on Hammond, Misfit on the Genji now, Ayala switching over to the Moira. Everybody swapping characters here. Only Drunken Monk and SNG on the same. And that was a great switch. We'll see if it works out for him. On this fight, it did not. I'm assuming they're just trying to kind of get some ult charge. Got 50% remaining on this point, but immediately after losing the point, they all swapped heroes, and I know that had to have been coordinated. And let's see if it works out for another push here.
Yeah, it will be a lot of economy pushes at the moment. Given that ultimate charge after this patch, 12% slower, Drunken Monk is approaching the EMP. Misfit a little bit away from his blade, about 70% there. On that one, Ayala is probably going to get Coulson's up pretty quickly, but Drunken Monk goes down, so maybe they're just going to be pulling a little bit back.
Yeah, only at 65. You don't want to go into this last fight. Potentially what could have been the last fight. They were going to try to open up right there, but a great pickoff from the side of Space Invaders. We talked about, I feel like the ult economy has been in favor of Peppermint Twist quite a bit tonight, but now it's heavily in favor of Space Invaders as Peppermint Twist just trying to get those percentages up before they go into this fight.
Well, Space Invaders, they want to buy all the time they can. If they manage to get it to around 90%, they can just throw in any ultimate they so choose, essentially. Drunken Monk is going to have EMP, and that is a huge EMP! That's a whole team!
Got the whole team and immediately stop the Reaper on the Death Blossom. The Death Blossom comes out, a quick response from the EMP on Drunken. The Reinhardt Slam will come down from Jungalunga, however, so the kill feed is starting to turn blue. Peppermint Twist trying to see what they can do. The Diva Bomb will come out. Who's it going to pick off? Great shield from Jungalunga, not letting his teammates go down there. And it is quite a back and forth all over the point here. Finally, some kills coming out. Misfit and Dragon's Blade all over it. It's going full red. He's got the Dragon Blade up. Can he clear up? Harmony bot on the last one on the point, and that is going to let them retake this. Again, 99% to 99%. Overtime clicking down, and Space Invaders not able to get back in time. What a final fight from Peppermint Twist.
Oh, the EMP Twist. Be still my beating heart. I'm sorry, but that was just beauty in action. The whole team EMP. It doesn't matter. Space Invaders have the ultimate economy. EMP takes all those ultimates and just swipes them off the table. They're gone. You can't use it when you're hacked. And look at this shadow. Oh, beautiful.
I wish that EMP would have been play of the game because I wanted to see that in instant replay. It was beautiful. And I think Space Invaders felt confident going in there. Harmony Bot had the Death Blossom up. They had a lot of ults like you were talking about. But as soon as Harmony Bot on Reaper popped the Death Blossom, immediately countered on with Drunken Monk on the EMP. So very, very good. What a play.
Yeah, well, Space Invaders get caught a little bit with their tries, maybe a little bit too cocky. They must have known that Drunken Monk had an EMP in the pocket, but they don't really seem to play around it. And if you're playing against a Sombra, especially a Sombra who you know has EMP, you have to respect her.
Absolutely. Also, don't forget, if you like those plays, guys, make sure to vote for your MVP tonight. There's a voting below the video or below the Twitch feed in the panel. Be sure to check that out and vote for your Trials MVP tonight and let us know who you think is playing out of their minds. We've had a couple of people who have stood out to me already. We saw right there Drunken Monk on the Sombra with a huge EMP, good Sombra play, and Misfit earlier on the Fair was popping off on the Garden.
Definitely Misfit, my pick so far. Just being a Pharah and also being able to shut down your counter, forcing them to swap from Pharah counter to Pharah counter and still really not being able to do much about you. That is some brilliant Pharah play in action right there. But we'll be heading to Horizon Lunar Colony. I don't know about you, Twez, but I always like to see a little bit of mozzarella grated on top of my Horizon defenses.
Yeah, it's a good one, and I'm a personal fan. I like the two CPs in general. I think the capture points on the assault maps are really fun. The back and forth right there is always really good with the control points, but I do like me some good old classic Overwatch assault.
Even Horizon Lunar Colony, are you in the 0.5% of Overwatch-based players who actually like the map?
No, I think I'm in the 0.5% that likes Hanamura, but I'm not too much of a fan of Lunar Colony. I think there's worse maps, but it wouldn't be one that I would pick for myself in North.
No, well, unfortunately, we don't get to pick the map. The teams are forced to play this, so Horizon Lunar Colony, even if they don't like it, it's pretty defense-favored, especially that point B. It really is hard to take these kinds of maps. You have to roll the teams so hard that they just don't really recover.
Yeah, and it's going to be really tough. Always in these maps, you got the defense, at least on the second point especially, has such a quick run back. You really have to use your ults effectively, really combo them well with your team, and make sure that you have that communication down, because if just one or two people is off beat, you're never going to be able to retake that point, as they can just delay.
Oh, definitely. I've seen it happen before. I've seen players manage to take the first tick of point B, and then a Lucio comes out and just wall rides around all those columns and pillars until his whole team is back. And then you just see that point tick percentage slowly sliding back, and then you're all in spawn because you're all dead. Well, I hope to see some cheese strategies. Maybe we'll see it. I did actually get to have a little bit of a treat yesterday. I saw some Symmetra strats come out on the attack, and a Drunken Monk. I think he's a little bit of answer to my prayers, Twez. This is going to be a Bastion defense.
Oh, man, that could be exciting. I'm also a fan of my heart on at least the defense Misfit on both Pharah and now switching over to Junkrat. So if I do play DPS, I can't play hit scan Moxie. So I play the projectiles, and Junkrat coming out as well. They're going to be setting up for this kind of interesting bunker. They got Orisa and the Hog looking for that grapple, and the Drunken Monk, like you said, on Bastion.
Well, this is going to be particularly painful to walk into. Misfit is going to dictate the exact approach that they're going to have to take, and Drunken Monk is just going to mow them down. He's going to be ready and waiting, and this is going to be a little bit of a bullet hell to walk into, especially with the Halt Hook combos. You're really not going to be allowed to walk anywhere that this Peppermint Twist want you to.
Space Invaders going full send with the super dive comp right now, though. They've got Diva and Winston, Tracer, and Sombra, and so they're going to push in with this full dive comp. You're talking about getting mowed down. Usually it's here for the Bunker Buster with the Drunken or the Bastion trying to take down those shields, but not really a shield going to be in sight here.
Oh, but who do you dive? Essentially, it's going to be positioned
Yeah.
really nicely. Ayla is going to be there in case you need the res. Second chance saloon, as I like to call it. And Drunken Monk, he's already sitting behind his shield, nice and cozy. At the moment, the best way you can do this is go directly underneath, and it appears that's exactly what they're going to do.
Unfortunately, though, Hasbin is taken out early in this fight. As we talked about, Misfit dictating where they're allowed to push and not able to push in that direction right there. And the kill feed is all blue. Nobody going down after that res from Ayala on the side of Peppermint Twist. Peppermint Twist on the defense opening up very strong here. I don't think Space Invaders were ready for this Bastion.
I don't think they were, no. Essentially, what you want is Honeybot to build up to this EMP, get in there, they're all grouped up a little bit close together. You're probably going to catch the Orisa, the Bastion, and the Mercy in that EMP. But the Batista's just going to be hiding out of line of sight, ready to throw an Immortality Field. That's a sort of wrench into your plans. That's going to be what they're trying to do, but what do you do if you can't hack the Batiste?
Right. Also, Moxie, take a look at where this Roadhog is. Dragon's Blade just hiding up away from his team. I'm ready for a massive hook here. Can we see a big pickoff? Tries to go for the Mercy and will get it. Unfortunately, not able to completely capitalize as Misfit just raining damage in the background. Will take out the two squishy girls, Sombra and Tracer, out of the game. And it is going to be a fight one once again for Peppermint Twist. I was loving that opener, though. Dragon's Bane just chilling on that Roadhog. Going to get the late pick onto Lucio as well on Reginald for just a little bit of a delayed res.
Yeah, well, I mean, surely you have to know that you've lost your Roadhog, and yet the diet seems to kind of come in anyway. They do try to go for it. They don't manage it, unfortunately. Drunken Monk does have his tank mode up, but I don't think they're even going to need it. You could just see Asenji put the amplification matrix right in front of him. That's so much damage. Harmonybot coming up to the EMPs and still not quite got it. And Zero is probably just going to primal in, sow some seeds of chaos and discord.
I think this fight could be a little bit insane here in a minute. Almost all 12 ultimates are going to be up here any moment. Dragon's Bane sitting off by himself again. Here they come out. All the ultimates are going to be popping very soon. Canister goes down. Riptire comes out. Hasbin gets taken out. Gets a pulse bomb, though. Will take out Drunken Monk and Misfit. This is the opportunity that Space Invaders need. Diva Bomb will come out. Doesn't capitalize on anybody. Drunken Monk popping the tank mode. Going to try to return the favor onto the Tracer and trying to even it up. First time they have gotten onto the point, they're able to get the 1/3 capture. And all the ults coming out. EMP coming out from Harmony on Sombra as well. And it looks like this could be the opportunity that Space Invaders needed. As Drunken Monk sets up in the background on the Bastion, trying to get anything done. We'll take out 2 right there. So just getting the full protection from Ayala on Mercy, get the damage boost, gets the heal, and somehow Peppermint Twist is still in this defense.
Well, Asenji actually didn't get EMP'd. He's able to pop Amplification Matrix right down on the point. You know that you don't have an EMP to worry about because it just got used. So Amplification Matrix doesn't actually get cancelled there. And also, if Asenji managed to pop that one, he also managed to pop Lamp.
That was incredible. And they didn't get the 1/3 capture. I thought they at least got the 3rd, but it must have been about 98% of the way. So not able to lock it down. And Peppermint Twist able to hang in here on the defense. What a great recovery that was. I thought it was going to be that pulse bomb coming out from Hasbin on Tracer, open up a great opportunity, but they weren't able to capitalize it. Nobody has ults left. We saw all 12 of them use that fight, I think. And the defense still holding strong here on the side of Peppermint Twist. 2 more eliminations coming out for Misfit. Misfit slain on the Pharah and slain on the Junkrat. Stay out of his way. Don't push into his point because he is going to take you out of this game. He's been all over the kill feed.
He most definitely has Drunken Monk set up on point as well. You're not going to be able to get that Bastion off, and unfortunately that is a full hold on Horizon. It's not something you see every day, but Twez, I hate to say it, the cheese strats, they do show results.
That's true. And that worked out very well for them. I mean, that was extremely impressive. We kind of talked about it. You had a great opening comment at the beginning about Misfit going to be able to direct where they're going to want the team to go. And I think even more so than that, we saw the Dragon's Blade on Roadhog kind of dictating that as well. They were forcing them to go one direction with those 2 heroes and then walk right into that Bastion. And it worked out beautifully for Twist.
Well, this is a composition, like I said, where you really do dictate where your enemies fight. Not only do you have the Roadhog, the Junkrat, you also have the Orisa, who, don't forget, can halt people into the places that she so chooses. That's why we see the Orisa Hog match up the Halt Hurt combos. You don't need to worry about your Halt Hurt combos. You don't need to land them if your Bastion's just doing so much damage. And Twaz, the cheese strats, they don't stop here. It's gonna be Symmetra teleport strat.
Oh man, I am loving this. I'm not. I wonder if Peppermint Twist would be just playing their game normally. Would they be making different decisions if they don't feel? Because currently they've been winning pretty consistently right there. They won the whole first map and they won pretty handily. There was a couple 99% back and forth, but they felt like they were in control and definitely in control there on the defense. I am loving this Symmetra though.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be tough cookies for Space Invaders because they're actually trying to set up on the high ground. Actually, if they knew that a Peppermint Twist would use the cheese threats on their defense, they probably should be anticipating it on the attack. I would have suggested they try to set up on point. This Symmetra teleport is just gonna bypass this gauntlet that the Bastion poses unless you can mow the teleporter down before it's set up.
And they're gonna have the vision. Drunken Monk on Summer is able to push out and let put a damper in it.
Yeah,
They
SMG
get
actually
another one
gets
as well.
picked and then Misfit, so you don't want to be pushing into this. And we see almost immediately this rotation towards the point in case the Symmetra teleporter does come out after all.
Yeah, and that was a heads-up play. They saw the Symmetra, got the pick, and they know she was down, but they are, you're correct, immediately trying to rotate over here, not setting up so far away. And yep, that's it. Got picked off once. Didn't work out. The surprise strat didn't work. Misfit going to go on to something a little bit more comfortable, switching to the Genji.
Yeah, well, you have time. You only need one tick. You've got the full clock to try something. Dragonsbane's actually going to go onto the Hammond. He's probably, if they're trying to take up the high ground, going to knock them all down.
Yeah, I
Probably
love
not
those
Husband, but
cannons.
it will be Sierra, who I would say has got that target painted on his back.
Yeah, I agree. Get the Orisa out of there, knock her down, get that shield off the top point, protecting the rest of the team. And I would love to see Dragonsbane roll up and around this corner. I love watching the Hammond knockbacks. They are absolutely some of my favorite. Has been, though, making it hard on him, getting a pick off onto Drunken Monk and taking D.Va out of the mech. Full Metal going to have trouble getting up to this point.
Dragonsbane doesn't actually go for any knockoff, he goes straight to the point, and I think he's gonna pay dearly for that. He's gonna be found by the Junkrat, and that's such a low HP, but he's still surviving!
Yeah, somehow getting out of here. The shield's doing work for him, staying alive, able to get back to his friendly Mercy, res back up a little bit more, and kicks him off his high ground, trying to stay on that Siru like you were on the Orisa, the only person left on the point, and now they are trapped here in the point on defense. See what they can get done here as Peppermint Twist going to be coming in very strong here. Drunken Monk gets taken out again. Unfortunately for Somber, getting picked off every single fight, it seems like. Just not able to make it happen.
They're really trying to shut the Sombra down. They know how important EMP can be. Misfit gets taken out before he can grab the blade. Oh, that's absolutely huge.
But we talked about it. They've got time, Moxie. They can get all these ults, cultivate them up, and just wait their turn. The window coming out from the side of Space and the Bastion as well, trying to lock it back down there. Back in this corner bunker. Harmony Bot has been doing some serious work on Junkrat. I mean, I feel like that's where most of the eliminations have been coming from. Got that Rip Tire up and ready to roll. Seer going to be up with the canister as well. And they're going to have full ults on both teams. It's going to be a madness again, I feel like, as at least 10 ults are about to come out.
Yeah, Harmony Bud is definitely going to be looking for Misfit, I would say. If you can get the Genji either before he pops Blade or as he pops it, that is going to be absolutely massive. It's at this point, though, that you're wishing you don't have a Mercy or a Batiste. You want a Zenyatta. You have no defensive ultimate. This is going to be painful.
Yep, and the Hammond coming up, but the EMP will come out from Drunken Monk, open up the opportunity. Doesn't matter though, has been still raining in damage. The Dragon Blade coming out, Misfit able to get 2, 3 for the side. Total of blue team is Full Metal on there, and it's going to be everybody pushed onto the point. Peppermint Twist trying to stay on the offense. Space Invaders backed up into this corner once again. Riptire will come out from Harmony Bot to clear it off, and that should be a solid hold from the side of Space Invaders.
Yeah, they are breathing one big sigh of relief. They met the challenge that Peppermint Twist provoked head on, and now they have the ultimate economy advantage. They're gonna have a 10 is actually gonna come out right now. Okay, scrappy fight.
Yeah, it's a little bit weird. I feel like Peppermint Twist has been doing a really good job so far tonight of resetting when they need to, but this time they're just staying on the point the whole time. Only 20 seconds, so now they don't have enough time to reset. They're gonna have to win this fight, or it's gonna take it to a quick draw. As Peppermint Twist still trying to push in here, has been though on the Bastion. Bastion on both teams on defense have just been slaying. Diva Bomb will come in, trying to get their last minute picks. Rez comes out on SNG, trying to keep the fight alive in the favor of Peppermint Twist, but the defense from Space Invaders just looking very strong. Everybody using every ult they can. Misfit almost has a Dragon Blade once again though. That could be the opportunity that they need. This overtime is going to start ticking down very quickly. Misfit trying solo life. Will get taken out though just as they earned the Dragon Blade. So a very good hold from Space Invaders, as I think that should clean it up. Hammond trying to do his best. Dragonsbane trying to do what he can, getting in and tapping that point over and over again, but not able to get onto it. A good knockback from Orisa and Lucio, and they will be able to draw it out. Full holds on both sides.
Oh, what defenses! And what have we learned was, if you're trying to defend Horizon Point A, pick a Bastion, please!
Yeah,
just not when you're against me in comp games.
That was very good defenses on both sides. I think Peppermint Twist had an opportunity there to recapture that point, and they just, maybe they thought they had less time than there actually was. When they first got into that last fight that lasted 40 seconds straight, it seemed like. I really think once they'd kind of lost hold of the offensive push that they could have reset, grouped up, and tried to go in again. But you're right, they just kept going with that scrappy fight over and over, and it worked out in the favor of the defense.
Yeah, well, it's always going to work out in the favor of the defense. Defense are laughing if the aggressors try to take fights longer than they should because they're just burning time off the clock. And ultimates, I do believe that a sound barrier actually got used on the side of Peppermint Twist when that fight started getting scrappy. A sound barrier that they probably could have used in overtime.
Yeah, I agree. They could have waited and just maybe played the clock just a little bit better, and it just didn't work out for them. We thought Peppermint Twist was going to be in a really good shape there after that first original full hold, but Space Invaders returns a favor and they draw it out. So that's going to be the end of Horizon Lunar Colony, and we'll be moving on to Junkertown now. Another good map, or I guess they're all good maps when you like Overwatch. So I'm saying they're good, but
always has good maps to us. Well, I mean, Junkertown is a great map for one thing that I find works always in Junkertown, and that is the sniper meta.
Yeah, there's a lot of good sightlines, and I think because of the escort map, though, and the effectiveness that we just saw, I think we might see some more Bastion.
Do you think we're gonna say ships ahoy, matey?
Yeah,
we're gonna be in for a bit of a pirate ship.
The full pirate sin. That's probably, oh man, it seems annoying when you play against it, but I love it. I like watching it, and we saw the effectiveness of the Orisa and Bastion there on defense, so I cannot imagine we will not see it coming out from offense.
Well, I kind of like pirate ships, but I like them in the non-traditional sense. I know that a lot of people like grabbing an Orisa and a Hog, but I like to see Orisa and Reinhardt's on pirate ships. Do you know how annoying it is to have to burn your way for 2 shields to get to a Bastion who's going to be sitting behind a damage-boosting Mercy and a Batiste who's just ready to chuck down that life-saving immortality field?
Yeah, the shield strat is, the shield strength is just impressive. And actually, speaking of that, because he already got pushed out live to competitive, I'm curious if we'll see a Sigma here if they do Pirate. I'm wondering if maybe they'll be able to come out or not with the full patch being sent out. I don't think teams will be quite comfortable enough to run it, but the amount of shields that you can throw out between an Orisa and a Sigma is substantial.
Yeah, well, there's also a great way of using Sigma to counter Bastion. If you do remember, he has this shift ability where he just kind of sucks in all of the damage being sent his way. A sort of a defense matrix, but giving you extra HP depending on how well your opponents are at hitting you. And with a Bastion, it can be pretty damn painful. I think you can get up to 800 HP.
Yeah,
Max, I do know a couple of people who sucked in breath when they heard that number at first, but it's not going to be a Sigma. It's going to be, it looks like, an Orisa with a Hog.
Yeah, he was toying with Dragon's Blade, was on that Reinhardt up until the last 5 seconds, so switching over to the Hog and going to come out with the standard pirate ship, I would say. However, getting a hack on Drunken Monk doesn't matter, though. Misfit on the fair was ready for it. Has gone. He is not able to stay on that Sombra any longer, and they're trying to do a little bit of scrappy, kind of a weird dive comp to the side of the defense here, not setting up on the high ground, just trying to separate these teams out. Misfit with the Pharmacy, Ayala with the full support, able to stay back here and just rock in damage as the Hanzo Harmony bot. You got to be going down soon. How is he still alive? Hanzo, I cannot believe it, up here on the top point, takes Ayala out as the escort is still going to continue going forward. Misfit all the way in the background, takes out Anna all the way in the back. So Anna was trying to get in there, not able to make it to the team. And this should be a quick push out of that first little choke point.
Well, they're actually sticking around a little bit close, and you actually can see Dragon's Bane waiting to just hook them into a nice friendly hug with a bullet to the head at the end as they come out of that particular doorway. It's going to be pretty painful, but it's going to be Hasbin actually taking the safe route around, not going to be caught out by the Hog.
But we see the Hanzo and Ana peeking right there, right next to the Roadhog. He doesn't even see him, though. Dragon's Bane has no idea that Hanzo just sitting right behind him. He walked out just a little bit early. And the first kill will come out onto Drunken Monk on the Bastion. Is the res going to be able to come off? Yes, so Ayala will get the res on the Bastion. It's going to help for that team fight to keep pushing in here. The Winston will come out, and the Hanzo ult. So ult getting popped early here before they get to this first check, just to maybe delay it out. Good hook coming out from Dragon's Bane as well, taking the Ana off that top window, as we said earlier. And it's just a little bit back and forth. Only 2 players remain for both teams. Dragon's Bane going to try to secure this point, though. It's a 1v1 on the payload. Moves forward a little bit, but now Hasbin comes in on Sombra, and it is just madness over here, as nobody able to get a full reset. And Dragon's Bane has been sitting on this point the whole time, but it does look like the side of Space Invaders will be able to, or excuse me, Peppermint Twist will be able to reset and get back in here.
This is such a scrappy fight. Ultimate's just being thrown in almost willy-nilly. Reginald actually pops Sign Barrier. I don't think we're actually probably going to see the Nano being helped. No, the Ana goes down before she can use it.
Yeah, this has been a very weird fight. I cannot believe how consistent it's just been over and over. Finally, on the short respawn timer, at least on this first checkpoint for the offense, Peppermint Twist able to lock. But yeah, you're right. The ult just kept coming out, and at one point we had a 2v2 on the payload and then a 1v1. Dragon's Bane, I don't think, ever went down and was just trying to stay on there as long as possible.
Yeah, he's actually 65% of the way to his next whole hog after just having used it. Pretty weird fight there. Definitely one for the books, but Hasbin is gonna have this EMP, and they're not really gonna have anything to counter it, so this should be next fight win.
Yeah, great EMP comes out. I thought Hasbin was about to get picked out, as we saw the Mei was able to spot her up top, but not able to get the freeze. The Blizzard will come out in response, able to earn that ultimate during this full fight. Zero will go down, and the kill feed is already, as the Dragon Arrow will come out, takes Ayala out of the fight, so she's not gonna be able to res herself. But still, kill feed going full send in the favor of Peppermint Twist, and they will be able to keep this payload moving, coming up quickly onto point 2.
Hasbin is crying right now. He did his job absolutely perfectly, but there's just no follow-up, and the kills just keep coming in the favor of Peppermint Twist, who are probably just going to be able to get point B with not really much of a contest. They're not grouping up. I don't think they're going to be anywhere close to trying. Hasbin probably would have been the one elected to touch, but he actually gets taken out.
Yeah, it was a great play real quick. I mean, it was a small little play by Misfit, but Misfit knew that Hasbin was up top, just walled herself up to that top point, froze up the Sombra, and they might have had an opportunity to try and contest right there, but you don't want to go in 5v6 for no reason.
No, you definitely don't. Just providing so much HP means ult charge for the enemy team. Dragon's been getting solo, but he does manage to get healed. Sanji does have this amplification matrix. Drunken Monk is probably going to use that to get to the tank mode if he even needs it.
Yeah, and Zero with the monkey is ready to go on ult, as well as the nano boost. Let's see if either one of them able to get in here and cause some havoc, knock them off the payload. But currently right now, the pirate strat has just been too strong. Full Metal and Drunken Monk had just not moved off this payload since that first checkpoint. A great grapple to group them all up. Drunken Monk gonna take advantage of it, takes out 2. Misfit makes it 3, and that should be a great opportunity. A good diva placement, however, not able to take anybody out. The shield from Orisa too strong, and they're coming up onto this last point very, very quickly here. An extremely aggressive push, as not very many of them on the side of Peppermint Twist have gotten taken out at all. And I think Space Invaders just going to start trickling in here and try to delay as long as they can.
Yeah, this fight is going to get scrappy. Twist is going to be ults just thrown in.
Yeah, Dragon's Blade tries to pop the whole hog, knocks a couple of them off the point. Misfit dropping the Blizzard as well, and the Dragon will from Harmony Bot. So you're right, ults dropping everywhere. Ella gets the res onto the Bastion, so not going to have to wait for that run back. He immediately sets up on that point, or on the payload, trying to slay out, but gets taken out very quickly. Actually, Ana and Lucio working together to take Bastion. They don't want to deal with that anymore. Window will come out from SNG, trying to get a little bit more damage. Siru taking out a couple, but he will go down as well. It is extremely back and forth, and when it comes to this very last point, I think back and forth in general go in favor of the defense. Somehow, though, Peppermint Twist able to keep the pressure up, and they're able to clean him out of there. That should finally do. A delay as long as possible from the side of Space Invaders. About a minute-long delay, but not enough to keep them off.
Yeah, Space Invaders, they get caught a little bit on the back foot as a Peppermint Twist around the final corner. I think that the plan for Space Invaders, at least on the ultimate side, would have been to nano Sierra so he can get into where the Bastion is. Then you know that you can pop Primal when your HP goes down low enough. You never want to nano Primaling Winston. It just... You do so much more damage with that Tesla cannon when it's boosted instead of the flying monkey fist.
Yep. Didn't work out too well there on the defense. They had a little bit of hold. They held right at the beginning with that little bit of a long drawn-out fight on point 1, and then a little bit of a drawn-out fight on point 3. Going from 1 to 2 and then all the way to the end there that payload did not stop for Peppermint Twist. That middle section of the map just went swimmingly in their favor.
Dragonsbane seemed to have, I don't know what his HP was on, but it seemed to be an infinite amount. As a Roadhog, that's not something you see every day. You tend to be a little bit of a magnet for the damage on that pig. At least it is when I know people who play him, but it's Dragonsbane who's able to just keep staying alive, and I'm sure that's mostly due to his supports, but also the whole the take a breather. That can be so annoying to try and take a Roadhog out.
All
Well,
right, so now this time going to be in favor, going to be trying to come out on the offense on the side of the Space Invaders. Space Invaders going to have to be extremely efficient to keep up with that time, and they're going to have to as they're down 0-2 in the series right now. We're going to play the full 4 games regardless, but you don't want to go down 0-3 or even set up yourself for 0-4.
Oh, they're looking to do the bomb rush tactic. That's not going to work out well for them when they're walking into a bash and they're getting way too close, way too aggressive.
Yeah, and they are very pushed up. A Maywall tries to come out and get a pick off, but the Orisa shield was there to protect, so they tried to bump the Bastion up and out of. Doing a little bit better defense than I feel like we saw the first time around, though, as they are still grouped up. Nobody getting caught out. SNG on the Zenyatta. What a snipe back on the Widow on Harmony Bot. Gonna make it awkward to push up and in here. The payload moving just a little bit, but still, Peppermint Twist doing a really good job at staying grouped up together, not getting picked out, not getting separate. Finally, the fight will start happening on the payload here. Yella almost already has the nano boost up. We'll see if that gets used immediately or not. Harmony Bot with the respawn from the hero checkpoint behind the door, just trying to take snipes out, but it doesn't matter. Peppermint Twist holding it down. SNG on Zenyatta, still all over that kill. Get those Discord orbs and left clicks out of here.
I mean, I don't think he's playing Zenyatta anymore. I'm pretty sure he's playing Jonak right now. That is definitely some New York Excelsior-esque style play on the Zenyatta. That Drunken Monk does have EMP. Azrath is probably going to need to be either right hand clicked, hacked, or just EMP'd normally. Very early tank mode coming out. I think it's a little bit of a zoning ult, letting his team get to that payload.
I agree with you there, and the Harmony Bot trying to rain down damage from behind on the Widow, but currently we haven't seen it on the kill feed. There comes the EMP from Drunken Monk, and the kill feed should be all in the favor of Peppermint Twist, and there it goes as they just have to run away in fear and backpedal their way to a lost fight. It's a full team kill.
Drunken Monk explicitly looks for the Batiste to make sure that he gets caught in the EMP. EMP really does find all its value if you can manage to get the Batiste caught in it. No lamp for you. And that's going to be a very quick regroup. They did die pretty much all together. So Silver Linings, at least not a lot of clock time burnt down there, but they are approaching that 2-minute.
Yep, there comes the Immortality Field out as well as the window. So Batiste dropping everything he can right there, but it's not going to matter. The Blizzard comes out right on top of the payload. Free will take both Bastion and Baptiste out of there. The BB boys will be back to their respawns. The Drunken Monk just cleaning up work, and they've got them still pushed into their spawn doorway. Unfortunately, Space Invaders just not able to get anything together on this offense.
Oh, and they're staggering Reginald. Oh no, the Mercy has to chuck herself off a cliff. Oh, that is absolutely brutal. The Merciless.
Wasting that time. Only 80 more seconds remain on this offense. I would really like to see, I think, Hasbin switch off onto a different DPS here. I don't mind the Widow pick, but at the moment, it has not been working out for him. The team on Peppermint Twist has been such a good job of not overextending, not peeking to staying safe behind these environmental walls and their Reinhardt walls. And the Widow not been strong enough. A great slam will come down for full metal. He has been Ana grenaded, but he's still got enough health to stay alive. Siru trying to finish him off. To not be able to do it. Finally has been able to capitalize there. Takes out 2, but I think that'll just be a little too late. But still, Peppermint Twist able to stay all over this point, and they've backed it all the way back up to the starting line.
Yeah, little too late seems to be a kind of running a theme of this, at least this round, I would say, has been sticking with the Widow. The Bastion continuously just stubbornly staying on it. Sarah actually, I would say, swaps at the wrong time. Swapping to that Winston means only one way of negating the shatter, and so you just have to wait for the bubble, but the kills are coming in. Dive is apparently working for them.
Hey, I talked about it. I thought Peppermint Twist been doing a very good job at not overextending and stayed grouped up, and we saw what happens when you don't do that. 2 of their teammates overextended all the way up on the point while the rest of them were just kind of hanging back, and they do immediately get picked off. So a little bit of an opportunity here for Space Invaders if they can get it to this first checkpoint, but they're going to have to do it without failing off this payload as overtime is already here.
Yeah, well, they're gonna have to do it going into a whole heck of ultimate towards as well. You've got the grab, you've got the blizzard, you've got the EMP, it just came out now.
Yeah, great play. There's the grab on top as well, only catching 2, but that should be enough. As Full Metal, after the EMP, able to just run in there with no fear, swinging his hammer, takes out the 2. No more heals for the side of Space Invaders, and it will be poor, lonely little D.Va left on the point, and that will do it as Peppermint Twist cleans it up. What a great defense.
It really was a great defense, apart from that little blip towards the end where they do indeed overextend just a little bit and immediately get slammed down upon and punished mightily for that one. They did really just hold Space Invaders at the door. Not even the first choke, Twez. They didn't allow them the decency.
Just that opening hallway.
Spawn.
It was just incredibly impressive, right? But again, I've talked about it, I think, a couple times tonight, where I feel like the consistency and the coordination of Peppermint Twist has really shown. The team really working together, not playing their solo games, not being greedy or anything. But we saw just a little bit of decay in their coordination, lost them that one fight right at the very end. Didn't matter as they stepped back into the limelight and held together, but it shows the difference. If you just have 1 or 2 people overextend just a little bit, it could throw the fight completely out of your favor.
Well, then you look on the other side, maybe the other edge of the mirror. With Space Invaders, they seem to be the opposite. They seem to be kind of relying on the star quality of certain players, Reginald, on the Lucio especially. They really do kind of, I would say, look for the supports to... They're quite bloodthirsty. They look for the supports to give them the advantages, whether it's the boops, whether it's the kills, whether it's the antis, or the DPS has been to pop off. You saw that there was a big difference in their the distance that they managed to get that payload, no matter how small, when the Widow managed to hit those heads.
Yeah, absolutely. And I said I think it could have been, just because it didn't seem to be working out for Hasbin there on the Widow. I think we could have seen a swap onto something that just produced a little bit more pressure. But yeah, I mean, if you're able to click those heads, that's what it does. It opens doors and opens opportunities for you.
Well, you were playing Widow into a Reinhardt shield, and that's very, very hard to actually find the right angles, especially if you're pressed into your spawn, because there's only really 2 places you can be standing if you're coming out of spawn. You don't want to be standing on main, you're a Widowmaker. You'll just be picked off. That's pretty much just shooting a sitting duck. Right, that's so you have to either take the high ground, which is indeed what has been opted to go for, or you have to go for a little bit of the side door, maybe grapple up onto one of those roofs, hope to not get spotted out.
I will give a shout out again too. It was SNG, if I believe, that was on the Zenyatta, right? I mean, just clicking heads himself. I mean, SNG was on the kill feed a ton right there. Took the Widow out himself a couple times as well for that fight. So good plays coming out from SNG on the aggressive.
He's definitely a candidate for MVP, and my personal MVP at the moment is actually Brendro Rodrigo, who just prime sub Twez.
Oh, there you go, dropping the Twitch Prime. It's a good reminder to everybody, guys. If you do like the content here on Star Esports Live, be sure to keep around on this channel and check it out, guys. And if you want to support the channel, support this organization that's putting these games together. It's a Discord group, Overwatch League. Be sure to join in it and start playing yourself. Put a team together and come show them up, and make sure to support as well. Just like Bendro Rodrigo, dropping those subscriptions is it's going to help put this league continually forward for the guys that run it. So, and shout outs, by the way, for the production team for putting this all together. Moxie, we get the easy job. We just get to watch and talk about Overwatch. Yeah,
we get to essentially show up 15 minutes before the match starts, plonk ourselves down at our PC screens, have maybe a couple glasses of water at the ready, and talk.
And I can do that probably all night long. The one thing I can do is just not shut up. So easy for me. I love it. I really enjoy it. Hope you guys are enjoying it. Moxie, this is the first time we've casted together, and I've been loving it. I feel like it's been working out very well, and I think it's been working out very well for Peppermint Twist tonight as well, as they've been showing up. I think they're 2-1, or they're 2-0-1, right? Because we had 1 draw and then 2 wins for Peppermint Twist.
Yeah, they're definitely showing the A game in these series, and I'm excited for what this is gonna be on a defense. This is gonna be a Symmetra and a Bastion. This is filthy to us. This is, if you try to dive the Bastion, we teleport him to another position, and your jumps are on cooldown, so you're a sitting duck. Or in this case, sitting gorilla.
Yeah, I think this could be pretty substantial. I'm curious. Again, I asked this a little bit earlier. Is this a disrespect play? Do they bring out the Symmetra because they're feeling so confident right now? Because earlier we saw them try to bring out Symmetra, it didn't work out, and then they immediately switched off. So I'm curious to see if they try to stick with this or if it just works out in the.
Well, this is definitely the disrespect play if AL is going to be sticking on the Symmetra sitting him up, but no, it's not going to be that level of BM. Gonna be has been going into the far. I don't know how long this pick is going to last. You don't really want to fly into Bastion's crossfires, but it's actually gonna be Reginald who's feeling the rage there.
Dragon's Bane over here got popped out of the mech, trying to 1v1 a Widow over here against Harmony Bot. Will win the fight, so Dragon's Bane just off by themselves over here on the edge and takes out 2 on the side of Space Invaders. Some serious aggression coming out from D.Va, and works out in favor of Peppermint Twist.
Yeah, and they also managed to use the teleporter to get him safely back to the team behind the Orisa shield. Got the mech back. And that's going to be a Harmony Bot immediately off the Widowmaker onto the Sombra. Okay, they're all just kind of gathered up, clumped up on this high ground. I don't know if Dragon's Bane... Well, they do know now. And that's going to be Dragon's Bane going to contest the point.
Yep. Harmony Bot tries to get in there and do a little back cap, maybe pull them off their high ground, but it's not going to work out for him. Misfit on the Bastion just going to sit there full send, takes the mech out, takes the monkey out, makes out the Pharah, and that's going to be very tough now for Space Invaders to continue to push in here. The defense on the side of Peppermint Twist looking so good. Misfit has not had to come out of his stationary form the whole time. He's just been sitting there cranking out damage, sitting behind that shield nice and safe.
I mean, he's playing the caster game at the moment. We're sitting behind our PC screens, and he's sitting behind that Orisa shield nice and snug and cozy because, yeah, he hasn't really been too perturbed about anything, really, that Space Invaders have thrown at him, and he's going to have tank mode if he does indeed start to feel threatened, or we could just see SMG plunk Amplification Matrix down. They are looking, Space Invaders, like they're readying to dive, but as I say, that has been thrown very, very low.
Yeah, it was a little scary there. It was over there fighting the D.Va, the Dragon's Bane, on the side, kind of 1v1. Has Harmony Bot in the background once again, tries to get a hack off onto Dragon's Bane, not able to lock. As Harmony Bot will get taken down right there. The rest of the team will dive in. Unfortunately, Sierra was not able to get up to the top ropes there. We'll be stuck down here on the point. Ayala somehow gets out of there with her life. She was just hiding down in the corner. So full ults are up on both teams almost now. But still, the favor of Peppermint Twist on this defense is finally they're able to cap a little bit. They're just sitting up here on top. They got to the first third, but it's not going to matter as it was just a little bit of a back cap as the players will be falling off on Space Invaders.
Yeah, well, Zero does have Primal Reginald, is going to have Transcend. This is probably going to be the fight that they really try to push this, but they've wasted so much time with these little eco pushes that not only are they going to be walking into 6 ultimates, we do not miscount that. Peppermint Twist have all 6, the big 6 we like to call it, but also they've only got a minute remaining to try and take this point.
Yeah, I'm curious now. This is a big opportunity for Peppermint Twist to show their discipline here. I don't think you want to see all 6 ults come out because if so, they'll have enough. There comes out one from Hasbin. Not going to make anything happen, though, as the EMP and the Barrage come out, but only able to capitalize on the Ana as 2 will fall for the side of Space Invaders. The tank will come out for Misfit. He finally jumps off his high ground. He has to use his left hand now to control his keyboard finally, more than just the one-handed mouse clicking. Siru trying to do what he can to knock him off the point. SNG up top here, looking through the window on Baptiste, just doing the damage all by himself, and it looks like Peppermint Twist will be able to wipe him off the point. They're going to have to regroup extremely quickly here and try to push in very fast if they even have any opportunity of getting back on this point.
Oh, nobody killed the Symmetra turrets. That's the worst play you can possibly do if you're going into Symmetra. Actually, there is a worse play. You can try and take this point with only 1 D.Va Bomb.
Yep, and the D.Va Bomb will take out Siru. That's going to make it very hard. D.Va Bomb will go out from both. Misfit switching over to the Doomfist as well, already picking up a kill onto the Somber. Ayala, you talked about those turrets, getting a pick off onto Pharah, so nobody even having to worry about that Pharah as the turrets will do it themselves. Misfit still laying in damage here on Doomfist, makes it a triple kill for the fight, and that should lock it down for Peppermint Twist. Full hold, as I think they got a third, but not quite getting the first point.
Oh god, Twez, if there's one message I have for the people currently watching, it is not only to follow this channel, but also please, 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 every time you go into a Symmetra, always shoot the turrets! They slow you, they do so much damage. It's essentially just a CC. It's like a Maya's just walking up behind you and freezing you slowly but surely to death.
Yeah, and I didn't see anybody else on the like on the kill feed there, so I think that was a solid solo turret kill, if I had to be correct, onto the Pharah on Has-Been. So you're talking about it, and it was pretty unfortunate there for the side of Space Invaders.
That it is. It's a massive oversight. They really do so much damage. Symmetra as a whole just puts in so much damage, especially when that laser is fully charged. It's essentially just a miniature Zarya cannon. It really is quite terrifying to be on the wrong end of that one. Asbin is going to go onto the Widow, and I'm worried about this, I will admit, because this means that Hasbin has to land those shots, and we've seen that he can, but he also can't.
Yeah, the consistency has been a little bit of an issue we've seen so far, at least from the Widow. And also just talking about the Symmetra a little bit, since we have a little bit of a delay here. We got a quick pause from the teams coming out just to hang out and make sure they got themselves grouped up. But Symmetra getting a little bit of a buff, would I say, because of the way they changed Zarya and Symmetra's beam. So a little bit more effective on those smaller heroes, maybe players who don't have as good a tracking. And you're talking about it, Symmetra was already good at damage, and even more so now. And I'm going to eat my words, Moxie. I said maybe it's a little bit of a disrespect play, but Symmetra came out extremely strong for Peppermint Twist on defense.
Well, it is a valid strategy now at the moment, especially with Teleporter now also having received a little bit of a change. It stays up constantly unless it's destroyed, so you can keep that one up and around forever, which means that you see lots of smart Symmetras using it not only to teleport their teams around to be as annoying as possible. You think the Widowmaker's in one ledge and suddenly she's behind you and then you're back in spawn, but also to just get your team out of spawn a little bit quicker. We see it on control points, indeed, where you have teams just gathered at the spawn doors ready to get to that point just a little bit quicker and set up, especially with those turrets, the most annoying places, doorways, and if you get all three walking in from it, is essentially, as Symmetra says, a car wash.
Yeah, it is indeed, and it's a painful car wash as well. You wouldn't be caught up.
No, there is no water and soap, or if there is soap, it's in your eyes, and if there is water, it is acid rain.
Yes, and it all burns all at the same time.
Yeah, nothing to wash that one off apart from, and I will say it again, shoot the damn turrets. They're easy, like, they don't move around. It's not like they're on tiny little wheels and they rotate. It's very easy to do. It's something extremely simple.
We're gonna have to get that one labeled out here. Pro tips from Moxie: shoot the turret. Hashtag shoot the turrets.
Yeah, shoot not only the heads but also the turrets, please. I implore you to shoot some Metro turret.
So big opportunity for Peppermint Twist here to push in on this offense.
Yeah, they don't really need that much, so I think we might see a couple of swaps around if this first push goes a little bit bottoms up. But I don't know, Dragon's on the Doomfist, that feels a bit of disrespect.
Yeah, it could be. We saw Misfit doing some serious work though on the was it Dragon's Bane on the Doomfist last time coming out? So we'll see if it works out in their favor on the offense. Currently not looking too good though, as Hasbin does get taken out, trying to get those head clicks with Widow, but wasn't able to make it happen. Siru trading blows with Drunken Monk after an elimination for himself. Full Metal looking good on this Winston, causing mass havoc. Got up there, disrupted that Widow, and is now still pushed all into this point. And is looking very good in the favor of Peppermint Twist. Already has a 5v2 advantage here in the beginning. That should make it a full wipe as the point will start clearing up, and that might be a quick point right there for Peppermint Twist to make this game end out.
Yeah, Reginald onto the Lucio, but he can't touch, and that is a very quick Numbani take for Peppermint Twist.
Yeah, Peppermint Twist all night tonight have seemed very strong. Their coordination has just looked so good. And I will say, like I said, we talked at the beginning of the cast, I casted Peppermint Twist last week, and I think their coordination wasn't nearly this good. I have definitely noticed a coordination and communication is what it looks like increase from this team. This looks like a much more coordinated unit. They're working as a team. I talked about it. They weren't getting picked off. And I saw last week, Peppermint Twist had a lot of times where their players would just overextend and get picked off. So I love seeing this from Peppermint Twist. It seems like a very solid improvement.
Yeah, well, they've definitely, I think, cracked down on those weaknesses then. So it's very nice to see teams taking on board the criticism, coming away from it, and then coming back massively improved from the sounds of things and really dominating Space Invaders, I would say. Yeah. The Numbani map, especially, that was sort of a blink and you'll miss it type of moment. It certainly seemed as if 1 second we were like, okay, cool, last map coming in now. Oh wait, it's already over. Oh, they won. Awesome.
Yeah, it was quick. It was very quick, but that's what happens when you have that aggressive of a defense. So I mean, there's not anything working for the side of Space Invaders on offense, so you're able to return the favor and get a quick flip like that. So make sure everybody, real quick, don't miss that you got get your last votes in for MVP tonight. So if you had a player that you thought stuck out in your mind, you had one that you could just remember their name explicitly, be sure to get down in the bottom underneath the video and cast your vote for MVP in the Twitch panel right now.
Well, mine is definitely Misfit, really a dab hand at all DPS, it seems. And we're actually joined by him now. Hello, Misfit.
Well, hello.
So
Welcome,
I have
welcome.
to ask, what's your favorite DPS and why?
Well, I don't know if you're in Discord, but my profile picture is Sombra. I know that's going to anger a lot of people who are bad at this video game and can't play against Sombra, but I like Sombra because she has a lot of utility that she brings to the table. I don't know if you saw there at the end, but I ended up playing Diva. I'm also an off-tank player, and I do enjoy having a little bit more utility rather than just pure damage. It's just a little bit more fun that way.
Yeah, and you came out well, man. I know that your guys' EMPs were all looking very solid, but I remember your name sticking out a lot from the first couple of games. You had some really good projectile play on both Pharah and on Junkrat. We saw on Horizon Lunar Colony, your Junkrat was just denying whole hallways, and you were just slaying out, so you looked really good on that.
Thank you very much.
And the Pharah play as well, you were able to actually play Pharah into a whole heck of a counter. So any tips for any potential Pharah remains on how to avoid going down to, say, a Soldier or a McCree?
It really is just about how you play the angles. Of course, on Night Market, I didn't really need to play any angles. I don't know if you guys saw, my tanks made a lot of space for me. I didn't really have to worry about anything but the Soldier, so I was able to just focus him a lot and make him leave a little bit. It all comes down to like hitting your shots onto the Soldier so that you can actually like make him either force out his healing field or like, you know, just generally getting him to, you know, screw off, something like that.
So
I wouldn't say I'm great at Pharah. I just, you know, do what I see other people do.
Yeah, I was going to say the kill feed would definitely disagree. As soon as you came onto that Pharah pick, we almost immediately saw that kill feed immediately fill up with those heroes.
Yeah.
Well, I do appreciate it.
I will ask Misfit, did you guys, did Peppermint Twist practice this week? I'm curious, because I ended up casting you last week. Have you guys put any time in this week for really practice?
We did have 2 practices last week, and we were able to get a practice in last night. It was mostly, we just, you know, ran through our strats, went on to, you know, we basically just practiced in quick play, went over our strats for different maps, because I am actually new to the team. I just joined last week.
Oh, nice.
So they kind of had to, like, get me up to speed on, like, here's what we run here, here's what we do here, here's what, you know, the basic strategies are for the team. But yeah, no, we definitely practiced for the map pool that we had.
I definitely noticed.
Yeah,
go ahead.
So bouncing off that, I know that Twez has seen you guys before, and he was actually wondering, that Numbania defense, was the Symmetra strat planned, or was it BM?
It wasn't exactly BM. We kind of suggested we either wanted to simmer at Junkrat because of how I played Junkrat on Horizon Lunar Colony, and neither Drunken Monk, our hit scan, or me, our projectile, play Symmetra, but our main support, Ella, does actually play her, so we just had her play it, and I switched over to the Bastion, and Monk, considering he mained Ana for a year before he switched to hit scan DPS, just went Ana. So it was mostly just we decided we wanted to try it with the Ana, or with the Symmetra, rather.
I really love that you guys are able to swap around like that. And I mean, I know everybody has their favorite roles and kind of the roles that they practice in, but it's really cool to be able to see that you guys are able to switch and kind of flex out on that and just swap back and forth. So really, really cool.
Thank you.
I would also say, like I said, I cast you guys last week. And my one other thing is that last week you guys, I'm not trying to call you, but you guys just didn't seem as coordinated as you did this week. This week, I really felt like your guys' team coordination was just much more substantial. I think your timing was better. You guys were grouped up well. You guys were moving together. So I don't know if that's anything that you guys worked on or noticed yourselves, but I saw a very strong improvement, it seemed like, over last week, at least from my point of view. So
Yeah, I think a lot of that does come down to, I don't want to like toot my own horn, but I do, I'm very comm heavy. I do shot call a lot. I do call a lot of things out. I do a lot of things like that. And comms are something that the team has told me that they struggled with. So I was made sure to be really active tonight. I'm not going to say that I was the shot caller because that was the Senji. He was the one making all the calls and calling all the shots. But I think it definitely helped to have the positive reinforcement of myself and one of our ringers who was there tonight, Full Metal Heart. Having that that extra shot calling potential, the extra comms was definitely helpful for us because I know from practice that we definitely kind of struggle with like calling targets, focusing certain things, our pathing, stuff like that. Comms are probably our biggest weakness. I think we have plenty of potential as far as talent and skill and mechanics and all that.
I would agree, and I think I said that out loud last week during the cast when I did you guys that you guys' individual skills seemed on par with the team that you guys played. It was just that communication, and I think you guys, at least from like I said, from my point of view, it seems like you've made leaps and bounds this week. So well done.
Yeah,
Thank
what
you.
my colleague means to say is that you guys have a little place in his little casting heart, and he's very happy to see that you've all improved. And
Absolutely.
It's so sweet. Thank you.
I mean, that's what you're here for, right? We're not playing in the OWL right now. All right, so let's get it together,
Yet.
keep working, and that's right, not yet. You guys are going there. You guys got it. But yeah, absolutely, Moxie. I love seeing the improvement, and it's really cool to see the growth.
well, Drunken Monk is definitely going to be going to Overwatch League pretty soon, I would say, seeing as he is going to be MVP for the viewers at home, and we can see why he got some crazy plays off, especially I do believe it was a 6-person EMP on Night Market. That was absolutely huge.
Yeah, it was massive. Misfit, you got anything else to say about the team or about the matches or anything else you'd like to say, man? You got any shout outs for yourself?
No, I was personally very impressed, especially with Drunken Monk's Sombra. As a Sombra player myself, I know sometimes it can be very, very hard to play Sombra in competitive play. You saw that from the other team, is they were really struggling to run the Sombra into us, and that was mostly because we were making very, very sure coordinated against that to prevent her from getting any value. So I think Drunken Monk definitely deserves it. He definitely played a very, very good Sombra. He was very good at getting around the spy check and getting around the coordination of the enemy team, and he was able to make the pick work. So yeah, kudos to him.
Looked great. Moxie, anything else for Misfit?
Well, I mean, it's been lovely having you on, definitely. And it's always
Thank
a
you.
pleasure to actually get to talk to the players. And I have to ask, was there ever a moment where you kind of just went, oh my god, I'm actually popping off?
I think it would be when I was this one. So you know the airlock that goes to the high ground on Horizon Lunar Colony?
Mm-hmm.
I think the one play is where I trapped the Tracer and killed the Sombra and then killed the Tracer in the same shot. That was kind of the one where it's like, damn, I'm really good at this video game.
Did you pause to F9 and maybe capture highlight?
I did not. I have way too many highlights already because, as I said, I'm just really good at this game. So just not worth adding.
Well,
All right.
it's been lovely talking to you. Twez, do you have anything to add?
No, that was it. Congratulations, you guys, for taking the win. It looked really good, and like I said, I love seeing the improvement because I was fortunate enough to get here last week and this week. So you guys are looking like you're on the up and up, and I really like to see it. So congrats.
Yeah, see,
Thank
I've
you.
never seen you guys play, so I turned up and I was like, okay, these guys are apparently pretty good. Oh wow, they're actually really good. So you impressed me, definitely.
You're welcome.
Thank
make
you
our
for
job
putting on
Much
a
fun.
brilliant show for us.
All right. I think that is going to start to wrap it up for us, Moxie. Be sure, everybody that's watching, if you guys like the cast tonight, you can go instead and like and subscribe to this channel if you want to support Star Esports. They are an awesome organization put together in Discord, just trying to get some trials going. They've also got their All-Star Brawl that happens, and that's a pretty big league as well. So if you guys are interested, be sure to check that out. Go check them out on Twitter as well, twitter.com/Star Esports Live. Don't forget the live on there and give them your love. I think that is going to start racking up for us, Moxie. Moxie, you got any personal shout-outs for yourself? Any last comments of the night? Anything that stuck out for you, or your own personal?
Well, Symmetra Towers.
Symmetra
I
turrets.
definitely sound like I'm on repeat, but I'm sorry. It's Symmetra turrets. If you're a Pharah, you shouldn't be going down to Symmetra turrets, especially if you're full HP. And also, do remember to follow me on Twitter. I do have one of those when I remember that I have one. That is GotMoxie on Twitter with 2 T's, because apparently someone had already nicked one.
The GOTT Moxie.
Yeah, the
All right.
GOTTT Moxie.
There you go.
The original Got T Moxie.
All right. Thank you for joining me, Moxie. It was awesome. It was a great cast with you. I hope we get to do some more casts in the future as well. I thought it worked really well. I was Twess. If you guys liked my casting, I do casting for a couple different games as well, so be sure to go check out my Twitter. I had to throw the underscore in there, Moxie, because somebody snatched up Twess. So mine is Twess_TV. Check me out on Twitch and Twitter and get all my social links there for other stuff. Hopefully, I'll be back for some more Star Esports as well. Moxie, it was great. Loved casting with you. Thank you once again to the Star Esports production crew for letting us come in here and do this. We get the fun stuff, come in here and cast. I think that is going to wrap it up for us for the evening. Thanks once again for watching the Overwatch All-Star Trials presented by Star Esports, and we'll see you next week or later this week for week 5 and 6 again.
Good night, guys.